because this guy changed the world. Do we agree? Mark Zuckerberg, go figure, multimillionaire. I don't think of Mark Zuckerberg when I think of social networking. I think of Betty White, which you might think is odd because Betty White, at the age of 90, slightly predates the internet. Am I right? I mean, of course, she's been around for a while. Venerable actress, many awards. I remember her from when she was, I remember a show called Password when I was a kid, but then, of course, the Mary Tyler Moore Show. I'm sure you guys remember that. Retirement, and someone put a page up on Facebook, not the producer of Saturday Night Live. Have you ever heard that show? Lindsay Lohan was on it this week. Lindsay's slightly younger than Betty White, but one of us said, hey, Betty deserves a gig. Let's put her on Saturday Night Live. And we all voted and screamed, and she got on the show and won an Emmy Award. Here's what she said.
You know, I have so many people to thank for being here, but I really have to thank Facebook. Campaign to get me to host Saturday Night Live, I didn't know what Facebook was. And now that I do know what it is, I have to say, it sounds like a huge waste of time.
Man, I am finding social networking to be such a strain. I'm working 5 times as hard for the same money, and I gotta now play with social networking, and I have to. Because if I'm gonna be aggressive now, my competitors are there. And my audience is there because it's the #1 website in the free world. It eclipsed Google in traffic last year. Is it hot in Canada? You bet your bit. You got 23 million Facebookers in Canada, #1 social networking website. 60% women. Did you know that? Average age 38, so it's worth marketing on. How does it work? Well, let's define it in the geeky terms. You skim a news feed. That's the geeky term for the content. That's the content of your friends. So your friends post stuff and you skim it with your eyes. Isn't it amazing the stuff they post without thinking? I mean, come on. I managed radio stations years ago when radio actually had an audience. And you know, it was funny. I used to always put a sign in the studio in the 80s because I'd manage a station, and the first thing I did is put the sign up in front of the disc jockeys. I saved it. I got a picture of it for you. Caution, be sure brain is engaged before putting mouth in gear. That's what we should all do before we go on Facebook. Do you agree? Because as you skim the content your friends post, you are either 1, ignoring it, because it's boring, duh. 2, getting angry and pissed and hiding it or defriending them, or reacting and getting, that's cool. Now, you're a business owner, that's your mission. You see, I have a news feed, which means grandma's in there, my kid in college, friend from high school, and now you. You gotta get in my news feed with content I find enriching. Am I making sense? So you gotta get audience, you gotta get content. So I was gonna pick on some of you. They show me who registers. Your Facebook pages can be very revealing. I figured, what the heck, here I am. You know, Woody Allen once said, remember him? Quotes, he said, those that can't do teach, those that can't teach, teach Jim. So here I am teaching. Let's pick on me. Do you want to see my Facebook page? Because 2 years ago I had 200 friends, now I have 1,700. How did I get all those friends? Well, I market it. What I do is I paid a woman, she still does it for me, to go to media executive company websites and uncover my reach. I get the email addresses. I get the email addresses because I sell B2B for media executives and I upload them to Facebook. Email addresses are gold. Once you got it, you can ask Facebook if that person is on there and you can friend them. So that's a personal page and people can friend me. They're my friend. No, there's no equal sign on there. I have very strong political issues. There's nothing, no comment about Congress. And I have very strong political issues. It's just none of their business right now because this is a marketing tool. Does this make sense? And I don't put a picture of my kid up unless it's relevant to position me. I know I'm talking like I'm third person, as someone worthy of doing business with, because I am vicious now, I need to grow my business. So I talk about my travels. There's me giving a big speech at a convention in New Orleans earlier this year. There's me talking in another, I'm not just talking, Mike's a moving target, always this. There's new stuff about my speech here, and it's always up there.